Hi everyone. In staying true to me and the way that I show up in my coaching, in my teaching, in my sharings, is that when I'm going through something, when I'm noticing something about myself, I like to tell you how I got to the root of it, and to hopefully expand you that if you are feeling this as well. So I want to talk to you about the idea of appreciation. Feeling appreciated, right, is a great feeling. Feeling unappreciated, not so much, right? And so for those of us, myself included, when we like to do things for people, it's not so much so that in return they owe you, right? Or you'll get something back. But it still feels good to hear thank you or I appreciate you. Because in return, if you're not hearing that, the idea is maybe resentment or frustration or feeling like you're being taken advantage of or taken for granted. So I'm feeling that a little bit in my life right now. And so if you notice that you too sometimes feel unappreciated, or when you're doing things for people and not hearing thank you, is that triggering? Number one, always look to see what is your action and energy. Are they aligned? So if the action is the doing something nice for someone, going out of your way, whatever it is, but is the energy behind it for your ego? Is it for validation because you want someone to tell you you're the best, couldn't do this without you, the story can go on. Or is it truly because you like to do it, yet at the same time, you're doing this out of the goodness of your heart, but to feel appreciated would feel really good. You might not even really notice this, but if you feel unappreciated and if you're feeling triggered, what can you do about that? I'm feeling triggered about feeling unappreciated. I went to the trigger DI and it was like, what is this? Like, where is this coming from, right? And so as I dug and dug during this DI, I realized that for me, possibly for you, again, I'm telling you this to see if this is something you can expand and relate to, is that feeling appreciated is directly correlated with feeling seen, right? If you are seen, then you are not rejected. If you are seen, you are loved, you are worthy. And so for those of us that like to do people pleasers, right? You're not looking to do it so that someone tells you you're good enough. You're doing it because by doing it and by someone saying, thank you, I acknowledge you, they're also saying, I see you. And if you are seen, then you're not rejected, abandoned. The list goes on with some of these like shadow words or trigger words. So all that to say is that if this is something that you're like, oh my gosh, yes, when I'm feeling taken advantage of or when I'm feeling not appreciated, is this about being seen? And really, where in my life was I not seen? Who was I not seen by? Can you reprogram that? Can you really look to see, in this situation, is this true? By somebody not acknowledging me, by somebody not saying thank you, are they not actually seeing me, or is this just a trigger that I need to work on? So again, looking to see if not hearing thank you, not feeling like I appreciate you, if this isn't so much about an ego thing, but this is really about being triggered because the root of it is not being seen, do the trigger DI. From there, go back in to see who was it that you needed to feel seen by. Was it your parents? Was it a sibling? Was it a friend? Was it a significant other? What are the patterns that you've actually experienced this in? How often have you noticed? I will say that for me, it's less about being appreciated and acknowledged by women. It's more about men. Stems from my dad. And so that was the whole learning that I went through and really had to reprogram to see that it's about being seen, and it stems from my dad. So all that to say, if you need any additional help on that, please reach out to me and we can dig in this together. But look to see if you ever feel frustrated about not being appreciated, if the root of that is about not being seen, which is really about feeling rejection.